Thank you. I mean, where do I begin? I mean, I'd like to start with Noah Cain. Noah Cain, Josh Williams coming in, and here's two guys that haven't played all year. And when we need a couple of guys that are seniors, look, you guys want me to talk about Jaden Daniels. I get it, okay? But you're going to listen to me, okay? Because I got the podium, and you're going to have to listen to me. And that's just the way it goes. And I mean that with a great deal of respect. But when you're building a program and you want your players to model themselves after the right people in terms of the world that we live in today with NIL and the transfer portal, here's two guys that haven't played much at all. And all they've done is been great teammates and done the little things the right way and have practiced hard and have waited for their opportunity. And when their opportunity came, they delivered for us today. And for me, that gives me so much energy in this profession that when we're talking about transfers and, NIL and how that drives you out of the profession, to have two guys like that in the locker room just gives you so much energy because they are out there. And that's why I wanted to take a moment to let you know those are the kind of kids that we want to model. Now, I know you want to talk about Jaden Daniels. He's pretty good. Matter of fact, he set an FBS record tonight, as you know, where he threw for 350 yards and rushed for 200. So just an amazing accomplishment. As you know, he was in a concussion protocol. But here again, talk about doing it the right way. Tuesday he did not practice, but he was out on the field. He took mental reps right behind the offensive unit, was attentive, had a play script in his hand, did it the right way, prepared the right way on Tuesday. Wednesday, he was in a non-contact situation where he got all of the work necessary, so he was prepared. And because of that, was able to compete at the highest level. And today, when you have a player like that and a guy like Noah Cain and Josh Williams, you want to put those guys out in front so others can see that's the way you do it. And so thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about those guys because we're blessed that, we have them. I know everybody wants to talk about going 10-0 and winning a national championship, and I know that's important. But in this time where we're building a program, those three guys are as important as anything that's happened this year for me. So, great game. I thought Florida played great football tonight. They did some really good things defensively, caused some difficulty for us. But when we were able to make some adjustments at half and lock down some protections that they were overloading some of our protections, we got the one-on-one matchups that eventually broke it open for us. I thought their quarterback was really good. Our quarterback was just better. So with that, we'll open up the questions, and thanks again.
Did Florida use a spy? Did Florida use a spy?
I have no idea.
Just check.
Right here, you talked about building, obviously. Go back to that last drive. You had some young guys in there, obviously, but to not let Florida score there at the end, what does that say about kind of the resolve, where a lot of fans might not see a lot, but what did you see out of that?
Yeah, it was the last two drives, right? Obviously, and we told them on the sideline, we just need a few stops. And we got the big stop, obviously, that allowed us the last touchdown. And as you know, we were able to chop a lot of time off the clock. And again, I think that drive was probably the most significant. The last one, we were in softer coverage. We were willing to give up some yardage. But I don't know that we have made many stops inside the 10-yard line or inside the 5 this year. So just to prevail and have enough of the tenacity necessary is going to help us moving forward, especially with so many young guys on the field.
Right, we talked about in the back, straight ahead. We've talked about the offense and Jaden on third down, specifically the duality of his game, keeping the defense honest. But how much does the rest of the offense, selling what they do and being a threat on every play, allow Jaden to be able to make these huge plays?
Well, it's, I think we had 6 third downs today, so we didn't have a lot of third downs. And when we got into third down situations, they were either all or nothing in terms of what they did. So they either brought, 6, 7 up, and then they dropped everybody. And when they did, Jaden would scan and there was nothing there. He would just take off. And then when they brought pressure, he would stay in there and then find the one-on-one matchup. So when you have a quarterback that is that patient and willing to stay in there, obviously it's helped when you have balance, with the receivers that we have. And then to have running backs that are willing to give themselves up in terms of protection too. So clearly, Mason Taylor hasn't been talked about a lot, but he was outstanding in protection. We had to leave him in a lot tonight. He had some nice catches, but he was also part of that as well.
Coach, what are your thoughts on the call against Andre in the second quarter?
I figured that was going to come up. I needed to take a little bit more time to make sure that I was articulating this the right way. I just think that we're in a bad position in college football as it relates to targeting. And I brought this up when we had the transmitter in the helmet. I had been pounding that table for the transmitter and the helmet for about 3 years, and it's fallen on deaf ears until all of a sudden there seems to be this sign stealing, epidemic, and now everybody wants to put the radio piece in the helmets. Well, we're going to get to that with targeting as well. When you have a situation like we did, where Jaden Daniels gets hit underneath the chin, driven to the ground, and is concussed, and it doesn't get reviewed, and then we have a play like tonight, which was a normal football play where a running back is lowering his shoulder, and we are trying to make a tackle. We're not targeting. We're not trying to lead with the helmet. We're just trying to make a tackle. We throw a kid out of the game. That is tragic. We're in a bad place right now, and we need to stop and figure this out, because there's a lot of words I could use, but it's tragic that we threw a kid out of a game because he was trying to play football. And whatever semantics, there's going to be a great explanation about this. Oh, he used the crown of his helmet, or he did this, or he did that. He was playing football. Last week, that guy that hit Jaden Daniels was trying to knock him out. You can say whatever you want, but that's what he was trying to do. Our guy was trying to make a tackle. So everybody's smart enough to figure that out. But we have 2 different outcomes. We got to figure it out.
And what were your thoughts on Ryan Yates and Jordan Allen when they came to replace Andre?
They, they did a pretty good job. I mean, we should have cut one post off, but I thought, Jordan got a little bit more work. I don't know that he got a lot. I think the one thing that disappointed me a little bit with the young guys is they got to tackle, and I'm not going to let up on that with them. I mean, when you go out there, I don't care if you run 4-2, 4-3, I don't care if you got 6 stars or 18 stars, you better darn tackle. And we got to tackle when we're out there. And it's not even an art. It's a want to, and we got to tackle better.
Coach, in all your years of coaching, have you seen a quarterback like Jaden in terms of his running ability, a guy that can go 85 yards up the sideline? And
Nope, never. I mean, his ability, look, usually those guys tire out, I mean, Smokey the Bear jumps on his back at about 30 yards, and that lactic acid kicks in, and then they're gone. He kept going. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's the best quarterback in the country. He's the best playmaker in the country. He's the best player. Now, I've watched them all. he is the best player. You can say whatever you want. Well, we're 7-3, and whoever else is undefeated. That doesn't mean anything. What matters is who's the best player. He's the best player.
And obviously, he was playing at a very high level last week.
Yes, he was.
He shouldn't be penalized for getting knocked out of a game.
Well, look, whoever the here's what I'll say. His numbers obviously prove to everybody what he's done over the entire year, and then at night like tonight, I think kind of solidify that.
Ryan, do you have an update yet on John Emery after he had to leave the game?
It was a knee injury. We'll probably have to do some further testing, but it seemed to be fairly significant.
And then you talked about how you all had to overload protections, I think it was, and then what allowed those one-on-ones to end up kind of opening up late in the second half and be able to hit those deep shots like to Brian? And
We had to make some adjustments in protections. They were sending one extra player, and so as you know, we rolled out of our no back to get away from the backside end who we couldn't block. So they then started to send an extra overload up inside, which required us to change our protections because they covered everybody and then send somebody through the A gap. So, anytime you do that, you have to kind of tweak your protections a little bit. We did that at halftime. We were able to pick that up.
We got time for two more, Ed.
Coach, I know you said a couple of weeks ago that awards take care of themselves. Do you think Jaden took care of one tonight?
If he didn't win it tonight, he's got to be the leading candidate because what he did tonight, unless the Heisman is just about popularity, if you want to be the most popular, then fine. But he's the best player in college football. He did something tonight that no one's ever done. So if that doesn't make you the leading candidate, then maybe the Heisman is not really for the best player. Maybe it's for the most popular player.
Coach, kind of coming back full circle, talk about the receivers tonight. Malik's a star, Thomas is there, Kyron Lacey didn't even have a catch, but the blocking downfield that they did to give Jaden, the openings that he had to go 85 yards, Malik took two people out.
Yeah, they were, and we got called for a holding downfield, which I'll take because our guys are working hard. Look, when you have a quarterback that plays at that level, that gets their attention. And I think that, they know that he can turn long runs into touchdowns. And so, I commend them on their work ethic and getting, guys covered up downfield and being physical with them.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks for listening.